I want to be a cowboy. Now, you might look at me differently. However, history does prove that cowboys have various backgrounds. Now, the concept of herding cattle has been around and dates centuries in Africa as well as in Mexico. But most people think about John Wayne when they think about cowboys. Now, that could be due to propaganda, that could also be due to marketing. But it was said that one in every four cowboys were black. And one of the most popular cowboys of that time was Nate Love. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Western wear and why I love it and why you guys should consider wearing it. Now, Western wear does come from the States. Obviously, it comes from the South, Midwest, Southwest, and of course, the West of America. You had different figures like Billy the Kid, who was an outlaw at that time, and you have a lot of portrayal of cowboys in the 50s and 60s in Western films. You have movies like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which is an example of a cult classic, and a lot of people speak about these movies. Now, I used to watch these movies a lot of times when it came to TCM. Shout out everybody in Canada who had that channel, Channel 48 on Rogers. And I loved it because it was fascinating. If you look at a lot of Western films, it's a great way to start if you want to get into Western wear. I always preach this on this channel that film and music videos are one of the ways that you can learn about whatever fashion you're interested in, and obviously TV shows as well. Because obviously a lot of us do not live in these environments, and it doesn't warrant us to wear certain outfits. But you can learn about these items and these types of clothing, and then you can adapt it to your own wardrobe. And it also helps you to understand the culture as well. For example, I live in Canada, and most of the Western wear comes from Calgary, and that's because they have that type of country lifestyle, because it's out west. We have an annual stampede over there, and it takes place in the first 2 weeks of July, so if you guys are interested, by all means go out there. It's one of my dreams to go there and also visit a rodeo down in the States. But in order to have that, you need the money on, because it's very expensive, but it would be worth your while to save up and go to one of those events. Now, another way you can get into Western wear is by listening to country music. Now, country music, I think, is overhated. A lot of people, when they say they hate country music, they mean they hate pop country. Songs about booty shorts and dirt roads and drinking beer, all that type of stuff, and pickup trucks. They don't like that. But there are artists, many old and new, that have introspective works of art. They have a lot of good storytelling as well. So just to anybody, I highly suggest that you look up different artists, country artists obviously, and make sure that you could find something that you like. Now, it could be possible that you don't like anyone and you don't find anybody, and you might still find country music repulsive. However, I just find music is a good way to understand different sorts of fashion. And it's one of the easiest ways to be inspired to wear something. For example, in my life, I'm inspired by hip hop, and I use this as a prime example because a lot of the artists influence me to buy certain things. All right, so I'm not from the West Coast, but I like Chucks and I like Dickies. Pause. You know what I mean? So I could wear that because they talk about it on the records. And in country music, it could be the same thing. They talk about that stuff on the record. Now, one thing about Western wear is that it's very expensive, very pricey. No word of a lie. However, the dollar will stretch because the materials are good and of high quality. And that's the beauty of Western wear, is what I like about it. It's about functionality and making sure you get the best bang for your buck. And it will always last a long time, depending on the brand that you go with. Now, based on where you live, the styles might be different because of environment and climate, and you might require different things depending on what season it is. For example, in Calgary, you're going to need something different than New Mexico. In Mexico, you might need something different from Texas. In Texas, you might need something different from Colorado. But essentially, all you need is a few things, or a few essentials, or a few staples when it comes to getting into Western wear. So obviously you need your cowboy hat, and then you need a straw hat for the summer, and then you need a wool hat for the winter, And then for jeans, it could be bootcut jeans for sure. Don't wear any like skinny jeans, it's not gonna work. Then you need your t-shirts, your western shirts. Then you need coats. Now they have different types of coats. You can wear a poncho, vest, bolero. You can wear a denim jacket, or you can wear a fringe jacket. But these are like the foundations of an outfit when it comes to western wear. Now how you style it is completely up to you. You can even incorporate different aesthetics along with the western aesthetic. So for my personal preference, I would incorporate workwear or a little bit of 70s rock, because I think it would go seamlessly. But essentially make it your own way. And then the brands that you would have to look into in order to pull this look off is obviously your Wrangler jeans or your Levi's. You can find that stuff anywhere for affordable price. And then what you would need is to check the western stores. Now not every city might have it, so you might have to look online. But if you can find your way to one, so you can find the right fit of boots or a hat that you want to wear, because you're gonna shell out like a minimum like 150, and that's just being generous. Mostly boots and hats on average are like north of 250, so you might want to make sure it fits a certain way. Now, if you're willing to pay premium price, I would go with Double RL by Ralph Lauren. It incorporates military wear, Americana, and Western wear. Now, it can be very, very expensive, but it's nice and it will last you a long time. And then also it holds its value, so you can sell it back later on. But that's if you really want to drop the dinero. I really think that Western wear is important because there's a lot of history attached to it. American fashion is definitely important in fashion in general, and I believe that Western wear is a pillar in it. Now, when it comes to jeans, we wear jeans because the cowboys during the gold rush were wearing jeans at that time, and it was functional. And now we wear it every day. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I really do. But I do encourage people to step outside their comfort zone. And if you don't want to fully commit to the whole get up, you can just take elements. If you don't really like the whole fit, just take the cowboy boots and just wear that. Or take the cowboy hat and just wear that. Those are things that you need to consider and that you should look into and just incorporate it into your style that you have. It's your life and it's your wardrobe. Make it your own. So this has been your boy Darius D. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it for you. And with that said, I'm signing off. Y'all stay suave, live long, and prosper.